We are amazing because our passion is limitless and our drive is intense. Therefore, you will not deny our grind. You are now listening to the Faith, Grind, and Inspire podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Faith, Grind, Inspire. I am your host, Gene Alert. Thank you so much. Hope you guys enjoyed the last two episodes of the podcast. I want to thank all our listeners. Thank you for tuning in this new year. Today we have a special guest, and her name is Faith. What's going on, Faith?
Hi, I'm amazing. How are you?
Good,
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for coming in. You know, I know it's cold outside.
Yes, freezing, but
you
we
can be
made
anywhere, but you're here with us and giving us some inspiration. So, Faith, Grind, Inspire podcast is all about entrepreneurship. It's all about the mindset of entrepreneurs, right? So, on this show, we try to bring on guests to talk about their journey, talk about how they got there, like why they're doing the things that they're doing, right?
Yeah.
And then to help our listeners get to that next level, you know, we call it level up, right?
Definitely.
So let's start out. Where are you from?
I'm from Staten Island, New York, originally.
Oh, okay.
My family's from Africa, so I'm first generation. I guess I'm considered African American. So just a little bit about myself and my story and why I go so hard for entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
I had two different perspectives in my life. I have family who have 9-to-5s. They may be nurses, whatever their careers are. And then I have another side of my family, which is in Africa, who are entrepreneurs. So it's very interesting for me to see the difference. If you ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's like that type of situation that I experienced. So being that I saw some of my family struggling and then some of my family prospering, I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I just didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So first I started off with, I was a model. So I did a lot of music videos about the age of 15, how I got into that.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 15 years old, and Dad, please don't kill me, but when I was 15, I used to cut school. I know it was bad, but I used to cut school. I met this guy who worked for J Records. At the time, J Records was one of the biggest record labels. And he told me what he did. And me, with my entrepreneur mind at 15 years old, was like, I can help you. How can I help you? He had a street team. So me being the business mind person I am, I found 4 girls. They were all like around my age. Some of them were older than me. And instead of me actually doing the street team, I let them do the street team, putting up posters. They put up everything, and I just managed them.
Nice.
I managed them at 15 years old. I be real with you, I was in the clubs at 15 because we were working with celebrity clients. So I was dealing with celebrity clients. I pushed my way into those circles.
Yeah.
I knew I was cutting, like when I was not at school. By the grace of God, I graduated high school, but I was with celebrities, so I did receive a lot of like bullying in high school because people would see me in school, then they would see me with Chris Brown, and they were like, "How the heck is she doing it?"
Yeah.
And I was a kid, so that was the first thing that I've ever done. That led me into modeling. So I already had experience dealing with celebrities. I never had if I meet a celebrity, I'm like, oh my God, I'm used to. I understand that business. So I did modeling, and what else I did? I did so much. I was a brand ambassador for many brands, and I still am. And I just kept moving. So that's pretty much how it started. I've done so much. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. So you asked me.
So let's talk about when that mindset, right? So you said something interesting in the beginning where you were talking about you saw some of your family struggle, some of your family really do it, right? You know, and as far as success, monetary, I guess. When do you think that decision in your life, where you made that decision, like, this is not going to be me, but I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you're young, so you don't know. I mean, some people know what they're going to do, some people don't. You know, like, I thought I wanted to be an accountant.
Yeah.
Because I'm good with numbers, but I was good with people. I did tests, and, you know, in school they give you these tests like, oh, you would be great with these careers, you know? So accounting was one, marketing was one, but I ended up going into marketing and advertising. So, like, for you, how did that work out?
For me, honestly, it's been a struggle because my immediate family, none of them get me. They till this day, they don't understand me. they still look at me like I'm their, like my father looks at me like he has no idea. He's like, you're my daughter, whatever. He doesn't get it.
Yeah.
I always knew it, like probably when I was like 4 years old. I remember there was a situation. I went over to my aunt's house in Atlanta and I was 13 years old. I was watching like, what's that channel that they talk about money and stocks and
MSNBC?
Yeah, I was watching that, like seriously watching it like
taking
this.
notes.
My aunt was like, what are you doing? You're 13 years old, and cut the TV off. I was so pissed off. Like it was always like a battle for me to do that type of stuff. But again, I snuck out. I used to leave. I've left the state by myself without my family knowing. I've left the country by myself.
What?
Yes, because
underage?
Well,
how did that work?
I mean,
with all the things going on in the news, like, I'm
this is how I got away with it. Well, don't do this, kids. Please don't do this. I mean, you figure it out. But my father worked so much because I grew up with my dad. My mom passed when I was young, when I was 4 years old. So I'm an only child.
Got it.
It was kind of easy to like sneak away from him because he was working all the time.
Yeah.
So I left, and I always knew I didn't want to just be stuck in Staten Island. The mindset of people in Staten Island, it's so crazy. They just want to, they wouldn't even come here to Manhattan. They don't go to the Bronx. They don't go to Brooklyn. Me, I'm thinking globally. So I've traveled to.
You wanted to get off that island.
Yeah. Every single day after school, I was in Manhattan. I was somewhere. I was traveling. Me and my friend at the time, Maya, we used to just like, we're bored. We would just rent a car. Mind you, we're kids. 19 years old, rent a car, and we'll go cross country. Like, we would go to Pennsylvania. Where else did we go? We went to North Carolina. Like, we did so.
Wow.
Like, we just did crazy things.
When's your birthday?
It's coming up. It's in March.
It's in March. Okay.
Yeah,
Pisces.
March 13th. Yeah.
Oh, my father's the 12th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pisces are driven.
Man.
But so okay, but so now. But I guess what I'm trying to ask you is like, what do you think was in you that wanted you to explore so much? Like,
man,
was it just because I guess being in Staten Island, right? You're in an island by yourself. To get there, there's only one way in, and one way out.
Yeah.
So it's either ferry or bridge.
Yeah.
There's no other way. In Brooklyn, there's like, everything's connected.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I think Staten Island, I've been there a couple times, but I've never lived there. Yeah. So I don't know the mentality. I can't say, but every person that I've met is like, no, I'm from Staten Island. Like, and that's it. Like they don't leave.
Yeah.
So I think maybe, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think that maybe because you saw that and you're like, nah, it's bigger. The world is bigger than just Staten Island. Like, we need to leave. We need to,
and I've seen
you need to explore. And I think because when you got that internship and that opportunity with J Records, it exposed you to a whole nother life.
I could never even
go back, right?
Even when I did have times, like I remember, like, I never really had a job ever. Like, I used to get hired for, it's crazy. To get hired for jobs, and I would walk out because I just was like, I would walk out the first day. Because I would just was like, I know there's more to life. And also traveling, I would really recommend you as an entrepreneur, just, even if you work a 9 to 5, traveling will expand your mind. You'll see how people in different cultures, countries make their money and how they move. I remember, like, for example, back to the entertainment industry. Once you see certain things like that and you know that lifestyle exists, you do not want to go back to a normal lifestyle. Even going to parts in Africa. Like, I'm actually doing a secret trip. Well, now I just exposed it, right? In December. And I went to a part in South Africa. It's called Cape Town. I have family that lives there. Oh, my God.
Really?
Please cut off your TV. Sorry, the TV is a liar. You go to South Africa, Cape Town, you will never want to come back here ever again in your life. The lifestyle in Cape Town is incredible. Like, mansions, yachts, my God, like, treated like royalty. Oh my goodness. It was just, after seeing that and going to Dubai and going to different countries, Italy, and thank God I was, I guess, lucky enough to be able to travel. Thanks to my dad. He always made sure he could do as much for me. So he would send me out to travel. He would take me to stores like,
That's cool.
what's that store in, starts with a B? Like, he would take me to see Gucci and
Bergdorf Goodman.
Bergdorf Goodman,
Yeah.
exactly. He used to take me there when I was a kid. It's like, oh my God, I want to like live here and I want to do this. And he's like, you could do it. And he always told me that. So after he told me I could do it, I just started jumping out the window. That was the end.
Shout
of
out to your dad.
Yeah.
You know, because I think parents, this is another key. Expose your kids.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, change their paradigm, because when you show your kids the best, even if you can't afford to give them the best,
Yeah.
right? Show it to them. Show them that this is an opportunity, this is an option.
Yeah.
Because when you see that world, you'll be able to say, okay, I could reach for it.
Yeah.
You know, when you don't expose people to certain things,
know.
they don't know. So they just assume whatever they've been seeing their whole life is what it is.
I know.
You know? So
I-
so if they think people of color can't own real estate, guess what? You're never going to own real estate.
Yep.
Because if everyone in your family never owned real estate,
Yep.
you know, you've never owned it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to work. Now, talking about real estate,
Yeah.
you got into real estate, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
let's talk about that.
So-
Like, what made you get into it?
Okay. So that was really random too. I wanted to create my own brand, which I have now, but I didn't want to go to the bank to get the money. I wanted to use my own money. So I was thinking of different ways to generate income. And I found this seminar. I think I was around 21 years old. I found this seminar in Brooklyn, and I went there, and the woman who was hosting the seminar, she looks just like me. And I didn't know people like me could do real estate. I had like a very closed mind. So I saw her doing it, and she looked like me. And I'm like, she's doing it, and she's killing it. And that, she just motivated
What's
me.
your name?
I don't want to say her name.
Oh, okay.
I can't say her name right now.
All right. 'Cause I know a lot of the real estate people.
I'll tell you off.
Yeah. Tell me later.
I'm not saying nobody's name. But yeah, so I saw her, and she said to everybody, but she was looking at me in the seminar, and she was like, why don't you own a house in Harlem? And I'm like, I'm 21 years old. She's like, so what? I was like, I'm like, damn, you right? I'm like, so I saw her doing it, and I ended up working for her. That didn't pan out the way I intended it to. But it's funny how I still was led back into real estate. I broke up with my ex at the time, so I was looking for my own place. And while looking for my own place, I met this Jewish guy. And I was complaining about the apartment. I was like, it's beautiful, but it's too small. I need an office. And he's like, how old are you? What do you do? So I'm like, I just got my real estate license. I can't do this. Get me something bigger. And he was like, why don't you work for me? I took the opportunity, and from there, I'm so grateful I met him. I learned so much. I employed people at 23 years old, because at that time I was 23. I had about 3 people working for me at that time. Property management, mainly rentals, but like a lot of property management, Airbnb, and the rest is history. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you still in real estate now?
I'm still in real estate, but I'm not really with him, but we're working it out.
You working it out?
We're working it out.
All right. So you have your own company now?
No, I'm actually a free agent right now.
Free agent. Okay.
But I have like access to investors and a bunch of different.
So
my
where
own
do you
clientele.
focus your real estate?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn?
Mainly Brooklyn,
Okay.
but all over. So actually, after this interview, I have a meeting about real estate.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I'm working.
All right. So you how is it managing team? At 20, you said 23?
Yeah. Honestly, it was a lot, but we got it done because me as a manager, I let people do them. I'm not trying to control anybody. When you hire good people, you don't have to like oversee them. They know what they're doing. You just lay it out for them, get the job done. So I wouldn't really say it was difficult. For me, it was easy because I had that experience from when I was 15.
With the street team.
So it was like,
So you use the same
it was
mentality.
normal. It was the same mentality. Just
Yeah.
this.
is different product.
Call me when it's something really serious and you need me to close. That was pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're writing a book, or
The book is done and it's written.
Okay.
So by the time this is done
Uh-huh.
out, it'll be out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so my first book, so nervous to write that book, but a good friend of mine, I'll say his name, Conrad,
Uh-huh.
encouraged me to finally publish my works. I've been writing all my life as well.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Man. So shout out to Conrad, because that's
Yeah.
another key.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with people
Good
that's going to
people.
lift you up.
He's awesome.
You know, so like there's sometimes, a lot of times when we don't listen to the higher powers that tell us like, look, do this, do this, do this.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's somebody else that comes in and says, hey, you need to write this book.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now the book is seven secrets, right? 7
Mm-hmm.
tips.
The seven secret keys to transform your life and level up.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Level up.
Yep. It's time to level up.
So we're in 2019.
Yeah. I'm in 2020 right now. I just
You-
had to put that out there.
I like that. Me too.
Speaking of the book, I just want to prove how well this book works, right? I'm here
Okay.
to talk about my book. I don't know if even Gene remembers. I met Gene about 2 or 3 years ago at 333 Lounge. He doesn't even remember.
Wow.
I met him. He spoke about his ice cream. You have an ice cream shop, right?
Yeah,
He
Brooklyn
spoke about
Swirl.
your book, Mental Note. You see, I'm a mover and shaker. He don't even know who I targeted him. I targeted him. Then I met him again recently, maybe a few months ago at Gotham Market. He came in and he said, he was talking to everybody. He was like, oh, I have this podcast, Faith, Grind, Inspire. And I said to him, he probably doesn't remember. I said, you need to have faith on Faith, Grind, Inspire.
Yes.
What's going on?
Yes.
And I manifested him. See, it's about
With
taking.
Jermaine.
Yes,
Yes.
with David, right?
Yeah, David,
So
yes.
I took action. I already knew, I planned out this whole thing. I knew I was writing a book. I could have announced my book just, hey, put the book on Amazon and put it on Instagram. No, I purposely, I think I emailed you. I reached out to him. I kept in contact, build rapport.
Mm-hmm.
I reached out to him and I was like, I'm coming out with a book. I want to be on the show. And you can't be afraid to ask for help or to bang on some doors. You never know. And here I am today having this interview.
That's so interesting. Yeah.
The
you're
book
right.
works. Get the book.
Yeah, get the book. So what's some advice that you would give aspiring entrepreneurs? Like you just dropped a couple of jewels just now. You know, one, build rapport with someone that you know, even if like you're looking to get exposure to,
Yeah.
right? So the other thing is, I do remember. I don't remember the 333 Lounge meeting. I guess it was a real estate.
Yeah, it was a real estate.
It was a real estate. Same
mixer.
thing. It was a mixer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I met a lot of people that night.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was 2 years ago. Oh wow, it's been so long.
Time flies.
Yeah. But I definitely do remember meeting you again with David.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you were like, yeah, my name is Faith. Like, you need to have faith on Faith Grind Inspire. So,
You got to put yourself out there.
Yeah, no,
you have
no.
to, because sometimes people talk a lot too. So I don't even blame you or anyone to be like, okay, but you have to like put yourself out there. Like I just said, after this, I'm still have other things, you know, still making moves. Also, follow up. Follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. Another major key that I feel like is just in me is to add value. I don't just ask for help or ask for favors without adding value. Outside of a gift, like how can I help Gene? Let's say I have an event come in that they want a bunch of authors. I'll invite you to that event or just add value in some way. Like today, I invited one of my friends here today. Unfortunately, he was unable to make it. But because he added value in my life, I'm adding value to him. Make people make deals. You don't just tell them what you do. Ask about what they do and see how you can help them.
Absolutely. That's another great one. So talking about adding value and giving back, and you have a charity, a global charity event.
Yes, I
right?
do.
So you have, I see TJ Maxx, Trader Joe's, UPS. What's that? Talk to me about those, because
That's crazy.
Those are big brands.
That like blew my mind. I was crying the entire November because I couldn't believe like the support. So the Faith Forward Global Foundation, that's my foundation. I've been doing work like this all my life, but secretly. So it's like, once again, my father, my wonderful dad, he always instilled in me about charity, giving back, like clothes you don't wear. We drop it off to shelters. We give it away. there's one instance, I remember being in Zimbabwe, a part of Zimbabwe. Also, I want to shout out to all my people in Zimbabwe because I know you guys are tuning in. Everybody in South Africa who supports me. I'm coming there. I'll be there in December. I will see you very, 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 very soon. I remember when I was a kid, about 4 years old, my dad took me to Zimbabwe because that's his roots. And I saw these kids. They were walking around with no shoes. And I thought they were doing it for style. I didn't know. And I'm looking and I'm telling my dad, I took my shoes off. And I'm like, Dad, I want to be like the kids. I want to be like them. And my dad told me, he's like, no, they don't have shoes because they can't afford it. And I'm like, oh, my God. I took my shoes off of my feet. I gave it to those kids. And they were so happy. The mom was happy. So I've been doing stuff like that, And talking about this past year, I had a goal. I had a vision. I don't want to get too religious or anything, but God gave me a vision. And I had this vision of this big block party. And I remember texting my sister, right? And I'm like, I think I'm going to do something major. I think I'm going to feed a lot of people and help a lot of people. Mm-hmm. But it was too cold to do a block party. So this is how the event came into play for feeding 100 families. And I just put it out there. I asked for everyone's help. People donated. I want to shout out to David as well. David Germain was one of the sponsors. I had a bunch of other sponsors. TJ Maxx saw what I was doing. They saw my YouTube. I also have a YouTube channel, which is Faith Forward TV. They saw my YouTube channel. They saw my Instagram. That's why it's so important to market and to expose what you do online. Take advantage of social media because I've been granted a lot of opportunities because of my social media and the way that I purposely brand myself. TJ Maxx saw that. They came with trucks. I couldn't believe it. Wow. With trucks. If you would have been there, the people that went there, they know. Trucks of food. I want to give a shout out to a good friend of mine. She has a brand. It's called Brooklyn Rebel. She gave us so many clothes. We gave away clothes, gloves, hats because we knew winter was coming. Clothes, hats, shoes, everything, food. Nobody was hungry. Nobody was thirsty. We fed I don't even think it was 100. It was over 100 people. Wow. And when we got to when I got to that venue, I knew people would come because of the way I advertised it, but I couldn't believe how many people came to volunteer and how many people came. There was churches who came that knew me. I didn't even know them. That came and gave sanitary napkins for women. And they were telling me their stories. I didn't even know this type of stuff goes on. I don't want to start crying, but thank you guys so much. It was incredible. It's crazy.
So how did that make you feel? It
made me feel wow, I'm really doing something.
Yeah, and I think also too, a lot of people want to give back, and sometimes they don't know, if they give $100, if they give this, are the people that really are
that's true.
That's true. That are in need, are they going to actually get it?
That's true.
So applaud to you because a lot of times, people want to attach to a good cause.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it would have made me cry seeing that. You know what I'm saying?
I was crying all day.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that participated.
Yes.
Prayers to those families. And, hopefully by seeing that, this year is going to be a really great year for them. Yeah. And then now this year they could pay it forward and Faith Forward, right?
Yes,
Faith Forward. And so now they could give back to another family in need.
Yes, definitely. And this is something we do annual. So we still have November. We're going to do it all over again, but we want to do it bigger and better. Also, shout out to AMNY who wrote an article about us too, which that's how some people found us. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
That's dope. So, okay. So that's a charity. What's sponsored? Let's talk about that.
The sponsors, that was TJ Maxx, the Brooklyn district of TJ Maxx. I wish I had their names. I would want to say their names.
You said Trader Joe's,
UPS.
What did UPS do?
They gave a lot of we needed packages for the clothing, and
got it.
Also, Trader Joe's gave a lot of their bags away, food away too. So we sent people. The volunteers were incredible. They were running on the buses. They went in the train stations to give away all those bags of food to make sure people they were waking people up who were sleeping in the train station and giving them bags of food. It was
Oh wow, that's amazing.
crazy.
So it wasn't just people that came to your event. It was people who they were actually doing outreach.
Yeah,
Oh,
even
that's
certain
amazing.
organizations came by. I met a gentleman from Bravo. I can't talk too much. A meteor source.
Yeah.
He came as well. So there's certain things I can't speak on because, like I said, I'm in 2020 right now. So I'm going to let this year play out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good. So, all right, that's good. I like that. I really see that from where you started in the music industry to, giving back to the real estate. Everything is going forward.
Yeah.
So I like that, faith forward, right?
Thank you.
So is there anything else that you want to tell the people, like any advice, like for the 2019?
Yeah, I want to give you guys real advice because I know you guys watch a lot of interviews. If you're serious about this, you probably read so many books. And I know it sounds so cliche, but you really got to stay the course. It was not all rainbows and beautiful. There's been times I wanted to quit all the time. You're going to lose some friends. Some family members might not get you if they're not on the same mental or frequency. You might lose your relationship if they don't get it. It happened to me. You gotta want this more than you want anything in life. You gotta fight for your dreams.
I like that. I actually like that a lot. So now how do you deal with that? Because you have to be really resilient, and because if all the people around you and people that you love and people that like a relationship, this is somebody that you're trying to build with, if they're not supporting you, like how do you, like what type of mentality do you think a person has to have, or what did you have in your mind to help you paint it forward and stay focused on the process?
Honestly, and it's in the book too, you really got to work on your self-love. And trust me, it's hard. It took me a long time to it hurts. I lost my best friend because of this. My fiance because of that. But if they don't want to grow I'm all about generational wealth and legacy. And I know exactly where I'm going. And unfortunately, if you don't get it, you got to go.
I'm glad you said it.
No. And
I said that first episode.
People dislike me. A lot of people dislike me for saying that, but guess what? They come back to me a year, 2 years later, and they say, you know what, Faith? We thought you were bougie, or we thought you were, whatever, but thank you for saying that. Because I said this at my charity event too, because they asked me questions, right? Time is going so fast. You could play yourself if you want to and stay in that relationship, or stay with those friends that are always talking about, I don't know if you have people like this in your life, that little radio show you doing, or your little business. When they talking like that, or you start seeing the jealousy from them, you got to cut them off. Because if you stay, you're going to start to believe it. And your mindset is everything. I want to say a quote for you guys. Is protect your mind and protect your mindset. Me, I would say last year was an interesting year for me, but last year showed me how much I'm willing to protect my mindset. I will not allow people or pet you, because I've had family even up to this day. They still don't get it. I'm like, you still don't get it. You see what I'm doing. If you go on my Instagram, I'm not a name dropper. You go and you could do your own research on me. How do you think I get around these people? You don't just get around these people just by following the rules. You got to break some rules. If they don't get it, you really got to cut contact. Sorry, but you do.
Yeah.
You got to cut contact, and they don't get it. They don't get it. Trust me, they'll be back.
Yeah.
They always come back, but you got to choose you. Choose yourself. Choose yourself. The generations after you will thank you for what you're doing today. Choose yourself.
I agree. So on that note, I'm glad you saying this, because
And I'm keep saying it too.
I say it all the time, but I'm just happy you're saying this.
Yes.
So because it's true, it's totally, that's just how it has to be. Because if you keep going backwards and trying to appease people and trying to make other people happy, you have to make yourself happy.
Yeah.
So that's come first. You come first.
Yes.
So self-love. That's the biggest takeaway for you.
Self-love.
Okay, cool.
And keep learning.
So what's your Instagram? How do people find you?
Yes, my Instagram is Faith Forward TV. You can also find me on YouTube, which is Faith Forward TV. My website will be out soon, so just Faith Forward TV on Instagram is how you can find me.
Cool. So thank you, Faith, for blessing us on this episode of the podcast. You know, I appreciate you coming down.
Thank you.
I felt a lot of passion. We definitely got to connect on a couple of different things. I want to do some things with you this year with real estate and workshops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, so thank you. I hope you guys had enjoyed this episode of Faith Grind Inspired Podcast. You can find us every Wednesday, and tell your friends if you have any questions. Please let me know. You can email us at podcast@faithgrindinspired.com. Thank you to the OG Podcast Network. Thank you to our producers, Tim and Jamie and Brianna. Thank you, Faith, once again for coming in. And that's it. You know, see you guys later. You know, I hope you guys been grinding out. It's almost the end of the month, so let's go.